You probably noticed the world is getting louder. There's talk radio, cable news, Facebook, Twitter, all fighting to get your attention. But there's one group of people who keep plugging away quietly, happily doing their job without the need for personal recognition. David Zweig calls them the Invisibles. He's the author of Invisibles, The Power of Anonymous Work in an Age of Relentless Self-Promotion. Dave, good morning.
Title.
Thank you.
I don't think news anchors can be accused of being invisible, but I think a lot of people do relate to this. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I used to be an invisible. I spent a number of years as a magazine fact checker. And the thing about that job is, the better I did my job, the more I disappeared. If I did it perfectly, no one would ever think of me. The line I like to say is, when's the last time you've read a great magazine article and thought to yourself, man, that was fact-checked beautifully?
Right, exactly.
Never. So this notion of, wow, this is such an unusual job, and yet I felt really satisfied at the end of the day in a way I didn't feel at a variety of other jobs where I was surfing the web secretly half the day. And I wanted to find out, are there other people who share this same inverse relationship between work and recognition, where the better they do their work, the more they disappear?
So when you were doing your research, did you find that the people who are invisibles are people that actually shy away from praise?
That's right. That the people in my book are incredibly successful. They are at the top of their fields, and it's not that they're meek or hiding in the corner. They stand up for themselves and they need to, but the way they got to be successful is really the opposite of what we're all told that we need to do, that they got there by not promoting themselves, by being master collaborators, by being interested in the larger project rather than aggrandizing themselves. And that's what was so fascinating to me, despite a really wide range of fields, that they all shared certain traits that brought them their success.
What were some of the fields that you found invisibles were most prevalent in?
Invisibles are in every field and in every walk of life. So and I chose a wide range. One of the people in the book, for example, is a man named Dennis Poon. He's a structural engineer on many of the world's tallest skyscrapers. I met with him in China at the Shanghai Tower, the second tallest building in the world. And here's a guy who we always think of the architect when you see a grand building, yet without engineers like him, these buildings would never stand.
Right.
Do you find, though, that after researching them, that the invisibles said they had a harder time progressing at work than someone who was constantly touting everything that they had done?
You know, it's a great question, and that's the big myth that my book debunks. This notion that we have to constantly promote ourselves to raise your profile or build a platform. It's not true. These people show that you can become incredibly successful by not promoting yourself, by being a member of a team. This guy, Dennis Poon, who I mentioned a moment ago, he's on the board of directors of a global engineering firm. He's in charge of vast teams of workers, billion-dollar skyscrapers. Yet when I asked him a question about himself, invariably he would always answer we instead of I. And yet that attitude brought him his success. That's what the book shows how to get there.
Fascinating book. Again, it's called The Invisibles. Dave, thanks.
Thank you.